Breaking into cybersecurity can feel impossible. Degrees, certifications, hands-on experience, bug bounties. Where do you even start? If you have ever asked yourself, what does it actually take to land my first cybersecurity job? Well, you are not alone. I've been there too, and 2 years ago I was a social sciences graduate with zero tech experience. But then I discovered hacking and it completely changed my life. Since then, I've powered my energy into learning, growing, and sharing my journey through platforms like YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, and X. But enough about me, let's talk about you. I pulled recruiters, professionals, hiring managers, the people who make these decisions every day. And today I'm sharing with you their insights. So in this video, we will bust myths, understand the data, and lay out a clear roadmap to your first cybersecurity job. So let's get to it. What the data says. To kick things off, I ran a LinkedIn poll asking what's most valuable for entry-level cybersecurity roles. Here's how people voted. Certifications took the lead, followed closely by hands-on projects like Hack the Box or TryHackMe. Bug bounty experience got 20%, which makes sense given how specialized it is. Honestly, I didn't expect degrees to score this low. It got me thinking, is formal education becoming irrelevant in cybersecurity, or is there more to the story? I went deeper and I asked professionals directly, what really matters when hiring for entry-level roles? Well, here's what they told me. We have two camps. The first camp defends that degrees and certifications are necessary. So this group highlights that certifications like Security Plus or CEH can help open doors, especially for beginners. They are seen as a way to stand out in the crowded field and navigate the strict HR filters that many companies use. And for career changers especially, certs are often considered non-negotiable. But then there's Camp 2, that defends that degrees and certifications aren't everything. So this camp focuses on what you can actually do, so your practical skills, and defends that employers value hands-on experience, like setting up labs or solving CTF challenges, far more than where you went to school. So the big question is, which camp is right? Well, it depends on your situation. You need to have hands-on experience and, if possible, a track record by solving CTF challenges, working on open source projects, building and sharing your own tools/reports, and if you can, bug bounties. And if you don't have any money for certifications or for a degree, focus on hands-on experience and don't forget to document everything. So, build a lab, solve CTF challenges, share your work online, and prove your skills through action, not just credentials. Are technical skills enough? Short answer, no. Even if you are a wizard with Burp Suite or Nmap, that might not cut it anymore. Recruiters told me they are looking for a few other things, like soft skills, passion and curiosity, and networking. So, while technical skills are crucial, soft skills, passion, and networking can set you apart. And this is because they are getting more and more relevant nowadays. So, if you know the right people, demonstrate passion, and you can articulate yourself both technically and socially, you can find yourself passing the two first parts of the interview. More on this in a moment. Alright, enough theory. Let's talk action. Here's how you can start preparing today. And the first thing that you can do is pick a cert. Choose a certification that matches your current level of knowledge, and if you are unsure where to start, check out this video where I talk about certifications from beginner to advanced. Another thing that you can do is build a lab. Use free tools like VirtualBox, Kali Linux, and set up vulnerable VMs to practice exploitation. Another thing is join platforms like TryHackMe, Hack the Box, etc. and solve challenges. Aim for consistency, one challenge per week. Start bug hunting. Sign up for platforms like HackerOne or BugCrowd. Even submitting one report is a huge learning experience. Another thing that you can do is showcase your work. This means document everything. So write blog posts, make videos, or create a portfolio showcasing your projects. The last thing on this list is network like crazy. So join LinkedIn groups, attend meetups, and connect with professionals in the field. Okay guys, this is the last part of our video, but a very important one, so don't close your YouTube, keep watching because this is very important. In this part we will talk about acing the interview. An interview usually has 3 stages. The first one is called phone screen. This step is usually a brief conversation with the recruiter. Here you should show your enthusiasm and be curious about the job and the company. The second stage is hiring manager interview. You will likely be reporting to them, so let your curiosity shine. Highlight your passion projects and areas of interest. You should ask questions, tell them what areas you are passionate about, show that you are willing to learn, and show appreciation for concepts. Also, if they ask something you don't know, that's totally fine. You can follow up with something like, "Whoa, I didn't know that, that's awesome." The third stage is technical interview. Think out loud. It's important to show your thinking process. Even if you do not know the answer, explain your problem-solving process. You will not always know the answer, and that's by design. They want you to admit the things you do not know. So never pretend to know something you do not. Instead, say out loud the steps you would take to learn or solve the issue. List different things that you would try, and it's okay to say that you would look it up on Google or ChatGPT. Pro tip: bring up personal projects, favorite security books, or meetups you have attended. Show them that this isn't just a job for you, it's a passion. And this is it guys, breaking into cybersecurity isn't easy, but it's 100% possible. So focus on skills, showcase your work and passion, and never stop learning. I want to leave a special thanks to all the people that gave their inputs, shared their opinions, participated in the polls, and helped me make this video possible. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to this channel for more content like this. See you next time, stay curious, stay safe, and good luck with your journey. Bye bye!